So I'm hitting the record button and I'm sharing my screen with you. Okay, allow. Okay. So there we go. Right, so what I want us to do today, I want us to do exercise 2.6 and 2.7. And then 2.8, but 2.8 is just a quick discussion. We're just going to look at the answers and discuss it. It's nothing new. We actually discussed it in your accounting 1A. So really it's just about, it's more of a recap. It's more of a recap than anything else. But that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's start with 2.6. So what is going on in 2.6? Let's see. Are you guys there? Give me a thumbs up if you are there. Then we will begin. Have you turned to 2.6 in your textbook? Are we together? Are we together? Talk to me. All right. Are we there, guys? Are we there? Can I begin? I just need one thumbs up. One, guys. Come now. Are we there? Can we get going? All right. I'll just assume maybe our hands are cold, so we can't hit that button, but it's okay. I believe you are there. Let us begin. So under the required, what does it say? It says the following. It says study the debtors control account and correct any error entries that have been posted to the wrong side. Cross out the incorrect entry and write it in the correct place. Note, the opening balance of 12,500 is incorrect. Show the corrected debtors list in the debtors journal. Okay, all right, cool. So we already know that our opening balance is wrong. So there you can see they've given us a general ledger of Evans bookstore, statement of financial position, accounts section. Okay, well, right, that's strange. They've given us the debtors control there. Flip the page, you can see they've given us the debtors list. Okay, cool. Then up top, what does it say? It says the information below is taken from the books of Evans bookstore. Most of the sales take place on credit. Debtors are allowed 30 days credit. The business does not expect to award any settlement discounts. Okay, all occurrences of settlement discounts are therefore incidental in nature. Okay, incidental in nature. All right, that's 2.8 in your book. Okay, all right, I see. Interesting. All right, cool. Thank you for letting us know about that, Koketso. Thank you for that. Okay, so 2.8 in you guys' textbook. All right, awesome stuff. Then let's get into that information. So we have and I'm going to zoom in now. We have our structures over here. Oh. Okay, doesn't want to zoom in. Okay, we'll do it the traditional way. Okay, maybe a bit too close. All right, so you can see here we have our debtors control and we have our debtors list. Okay, and I'm sure you guys have this in your working books as well. So as we go along, we'll be doing the necessary adjustments. Okay. Then it says information. All right. You are provided with an incomplete debtors control for the month of May in your answer book. All right. You are also provided with a debtors list with the balances owing by the different debtors on 31 May. The following errors or omissions were noted. Okay. Total of the debtors journal was overcast by 160. Okay, cool. So what that means is if the total on the debtors journal, okay, was overcast, what does that mean? It means the total of stuff bought to us, all right? In other words, if you look at the debtors column in the debtors journal, right, was higher than what it should have been, okay? So then obviously that means that when we look at, if you look on in your textbook and you look at your, what's it called? If you look at your sales plus VAT, okay, you're on your debit side, there where you see in the folio DJ, okay, you'll see the amount there is 26,000, okay. They're saying that amount is higher than what it should be. So to rectify this, we now need to come in, and you can see they have erased our balance, our opening balance, because remember they said our opening balance is wrong, okay. So we need to correct that as well. So here we're going to write sales and VAT, okay, and then we're saying 26,000 less 160, okay, because isn't, we now have to reduce that amount, we need to remove it, okay. So that gives us what? Let's see, how much do we get? Minus 160. What do we get? Is it possible to copy this? Okay, we can't. Okay. So the total that we get is 25,000. I think it was 800 and how much? And 40. 840. Okay, right. Then after that, that's the first correction done. We can now move on to the next piece of information. It says return of goods by C. Carwood for 720 including VAT. Okay, return of goods. Okay, was correctly recorded in the journal but posted to the account of B Barnes. Okay, so this was just posted to the wrong account. So now what we have to do here is we need to rectify that. Okay, so it was done right in the journals, but it was just done wrongly in the individual accounts. And guys, if you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to ask. Okay. So what we're going to do here is for B Barnes' account, remember it's a return, so it would have been a deduction off of his account of 720. Which then makes sense as to why he has a negative balance, right? So to rectify that, we obviously need to just add 720 to cancel out this entry that was not supposed to go off on his account. Then remember, this is supposed to be for C. So we now remove this. Oops, okay, fine. Just do this 720. 720. Done. Okay. All right. Awesome stuff. Now we've dealt with number two. So you can even cross that out. I like to cross things out so I know, okay, I've dealt with it. I can continue. Then we go on. It says, no entry has been made for a check for 2,200, which was returned by the bank due to insufficient funds. Okay. The check was originally received from A. Ashmore in settlement of an account of 2,400. Okay, cool. So this is obviously a return to draw. Okay, so then we know, okay, this is obviously then we enter it as bank. Okay, and then here we just put R/D. Okay, and here that was for the check was for 2,200. Okay, no problems there. Right. Then we go to A. Ashmore. Remember, we said we had received this money. Okay, but we actually haven't. So we need to then also add 2,200. Okay. But remember also that this was in full settlement. So in actuality, we could even just go 2,400. Okay, if we wanted to. We could actually just do it like that. Right? So basically we gave him a settlement discount. Okay. So now here what we need to do is we also need to then recognize the 200 that has not been received. Okay. So for a moment, let me actually just do this because that folio is for something else. So that things are in order. Okay. So here we're going to say sales and VAT. Okay. And here we then put that 200. Okay. That's us reversing the settlement discount that we granted him. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Then we move to the next one. Did I record this 200? Yes, we 2.4. Okay. Then the next one, it says an invoice issued to C code for 1,900 has been posted to the wrong side of his personal account. Wrong side of his personal account. Okay, so what they're telling you there is that the debtors control hasn't been affected, but the debtors list has been affected. Okay, so let's see here again. Okay, so this thing was an invoice issued. Okay, we know when an invoice is issued, it means we sold goods on credit. Okay, so if it was posted to the wrong side, what that is telling you is that we put a negative 1,900. Okay, so then to rectify this, we need to add 1,900 and then add another 1,900. So alternatively, you can just say, you can just make it a positive 3,800 and you are done. Okay, right. Yep, that is all you need to do there. That's all you need to do there. Okay, let's see, are there any questions or thoughts from you guys? Okay, everybody is still happy. Everybody is still happy. Okay, which is good. This is turning out to be a lot faster than I anticipated. Wow. Okay. All right. So the next one, 3.5, and I want you guys to engage me, is a credit note issued to A. Ashmore for 650, okay, has been incorrectly entered in his personal account as 560. So somebody tell me, what are we supposed to do here? It was a credit note issued. So in other words, A. Ashmore returned goods to us. But now in his personal account, what was recorded was, so obviously since it's a credit note, what is it gonna do to his account? Tell me, guys, is it gonna increase or decrease his account? Is this credit note going to increase or decrease what he owes us? It's going to decrease. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kikeso. It's going to decrease. All right. So then we ask ourselves, if what we did was we decreased by 560 instead of 650, what then do we need to do? What needs to happen here? What needs to happen here? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Is there a shortfall, or is it overcast? Have we reduced more than we should have? What needs to happen? What needs to happen? Okay, first things first, we need to check the difference. We need to say, okay, it was supposed to be 650, but we only deducted 560. Okay, so what's the difference? Okay, that, I'm just calculating mentally, should be 90. Okay, I hope I'm correct. Should be 90. Okay, so since we only deducted 560, we should have deducted 650. Okay, that shortfall is then 90. What we then need to do is obviously deduct by a further 90. We need to then deduct by a further 90. Okay, and remember, this is only his personal account. Okay, so we're only adjusting here in the debtors list. Okay, so where is this guy? 90. Okay, done. Then we move on to the last one there. Okay, the last one there, it says goods sold on credit to B Barnes for 1,400 include 450 including VAT have been incorrectly entered in the debtors journal as a sale to C. Wood and posted as such. Okay. All right. So this 1,400 was incorrectly entered in the debtors journal as a sale to the wrong guy, basically. All right. So what we then need to do, first thing we need to remove this. Okay, so here we remove that 1,450. Okay, then after that we need to add it to B bonds. Okay. Okay. Then we need to ask ourselves, okay, this went through the debtor's journal, so that's fine. Okay, it was obviously then posted to the debtor's control. Okay. So as it would have fallen, it wouldn't have gone to a specific person, it would have just gone into sales and VAT. So that's fine, it's okay. It ended up where it was supposed to go. Okay, so they were happy. Okay, right. So since there's no more amendments, now we can begin to slot in everything else that we had already in the debtor's control. Okay, this, yeah, okay. So let's start there. Remember, again, they told us the opening balance is wrong. So we now need to obviously figure out how we're going to get the opening balance, which we will do. All right. So if we look there in the debtors control that they gave us, okay, we see interest income. Okay, interest income, that's perfectly fine. That should be in here. Okay, that should fall into the GJ. So and that's for 80 Rand. Okay. Okay, we're putting that on the debit because it's going to increase our debtors control. So it is on the correct side, that's fine. Okay, that's done. Okay, we had this 1,200. We had this 1,200. Okay, that 1,200. What is it called? Sales returns and VAT. So sales returns actually should decrease. Should actually decrease your, what you call it, your debtors control. So it needs to slide over to the other side. Okay, and that would have affected your debtors adjustment journal. So I think we can actually just try and slot that in here. So what was that? Sales returns and VAT. Okay. Okay. Hmm, 1,200. Okay. All right, that's been done. Then what else do we need to do? Uh, then we go to the other side. We have bank 18,000. Okay, hasn't given us any reason to. There's been no adjustments there, so that's fine because that's all we're saying. There is money coming in from debtors. So okay, okay, that's fine. Then what else do we have? We have sales and VAT. Okay, so that's probably settlement discounts granted. Okay, so that we're just going to leave there. 320. right? So what are we saying? This is your sales and VAT. Okay, cool. No problem there. Then we have this bank RD. Okay, bank RD. All right. So in other words, there was another check that bounced. Okay, but that we can't have over here. Okay, that we can't have over here because remember that's going to, if a check bounces, it's going to actually increase our debtors control, because that means that this person who we thought had paid us actually hasn't. So we now need more money from them. Okay, so we're actually going to throw this to the other side, and we're just going to put the same thing under details. Okay, and there we go. Right, now let me remove this. Let me remove this because we don't know the balance here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get to the balance. All right, we also don't know which one is the bigger side because we don't know what the balance is. So let me remove this as well. Okay, but this does already look like the bigger side, but we don't know for sure whether we have a debit or a credit balance. So what do? Remember, our whole goal is to make sure that our debtors list matches with our debtors control. Then we know that we have recorded things correctly for the month. So we have to finish up here and get our new balance. Okay, so let's whip out our calculator. 5,000 plus minus 90. Okay, 7,310. Next one. Just clear that. Okay, so these two canceled out each other, so it's literally just 1,450. Okay. Then here we have 7,000 minus 720 plus 38 plus, oh, sorry, minus 1, 4. Oh, ish, you make a mistake here. So what is 7,000 minus, oh goodness me, going to have to clear that. Okay, 7,000 minus 720 plus 3.8 minus 1,450, 8,630, 8,630. Okay, now if you add all those together, you should arrive at this 22,520. Okay, so now we know what our balance brought down, and our balance carried down should be 22,000, how much? 520. Okay, so we plug that in here. 22,520. Okay, now we obviously have the total on this side. Okay, no, we don't have the total on this side, but we know what the total should be. So if we add up all these, we should then get the total that should be this side. Okay? Because remember, the shorter side, okay, is going to give us the shorter side is where we're going to have balance carried down. Okay, so here you can already see this is smaller than what we have this side. Okay, so that's how we know that this was going to be balance carried down. So if we add up here, we'll know what the total should be from this side. Okay, so we're just working our way backwards to get this balance here, basically. All right, so again, let's pull out the calculator. Let me close that, and then okay, let's add those amounts. So 18,000 plus 320 plus 1,200 plus 22,520. Okay, we get 4240. Okay. Oh, so according to my answer book, we just short there. Okay, but it's because we forgot something. There was credit losses there. Can you see for 150? So we just forgot to put that there. So credit losses, and yesterday again we saw we can also call these bad debts. And this is journal. Let's just space it out. Okay, and what's the amount? 150. Okay, so we have our amount here, and then we just say plus 150. Okay, so that's the total we should have. 42,190. 42,190. And here 42,190. Okay, so now we just work our way back. We now just need to deduct these amounts to find out what our opening balance should be. Okay, so let's do that. Minus 25,840 minus 2,200 minus 200 minus 80 and then minus 820. Okay, so your opening balance should then be 13,050 rands. Okay, so that's all that you do, and that's how you work your answer. So I love this type of question because this is the type of question they could ask you in a test or exam. It's not too long, but if you don't know the process, you obviously can't figure this stuff out. I don't know if there are any questions from you guys. Okay, no questions. Okay, it's understandable. I think it's pretty, this exercise is not too bad. Remember I told you this unit is really good. Okay, you should score all your marks here. Okay, you should really you know, get some good marks out of this unit. Okay, anyway, let's quickly take our break. Then when we get back, we will proceed to do, in my textbook it's 2.7, so maybe in your textbook it might be 2.9. This time we're doing the very same thing, it's just that now we're doing it with the creditors. Yeah, all right, cool, awesome stuff. All right, I'll see you guys in 10. Okay, I see, so please repeat that. Getting the opening balance. Okay, all right, no problem. Cool. So can you see what we did? we first figured out, okay, cool. So we don't know what the opening balance should be. In the question, they told us that sorry, excuse me. In the question, they told us that the opening balance is wrong. Okay, and you saw I removed the opening balance that we had. Okay, so what we did do is we first corrected all the errors and entered all the omissions into both the debtors control and the debtors list. We then figured out, okay, what is the new total on the debtors list? Okay, once we had that, remember, we're doing debtors reconciliation here. And in debtors reconciliation, we're saying that the debtors list, the total here, should be the same balance. It should equal the balance on the debtors control. Okay, so now once we figured that out, okay, we now have our new total on the debtors list. This is what the balance should be on our debtors control. So we say, okay, this is our balance brought down, and this is then our balance carried down. Okay, we could see that this side is smaller. Can you see that? There's only 18,000 here, 1,200 here, 150, 320 there. Here we've already got 25,840. Okay, so we know this is the bigger side. Okay, so that's how we knew this is going to be, this is where we're going to have balance carried down. And this is obviously then going to be balance brought down. Okay, cool, no problems. So then what we did is we said, but we don't know what the total then is over here. So we're just working our way backwards. So we said, okay, we know that this balance carried down, if we add it to all these amounts here, we'll get the total of what this bigger side should be equal to. Remember, when we balance, we say, what is the total on the bigger side? And we put that down. Okay, we put that down on both sides, and then we say, what is the difference between the bigger side and the smaller side? And that's how we get our balance carried down, which eventually becomes also our balance brought down, because it's a copy and paste, same amount. Okay, so then we're saying, okay, cool, we now know the total because we've added up everything from the smaller side with the balance carried down. Cool. So this is what the bigger side should equal. Then we continue to work our way backwards by just minusing each amount, each amount, each amount, each amount, until we say, okay, what is the amount that remains after we've minused everything else? And we realized, okay, it's this 13,050. And that's how we got our opening balance. Okay. I hope that makes sense now. Everybody aligned? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Koketso, and thank you, TK. Glad you guys are sorted. All right. So let's take that break. Let me see you guys at 9:04, and then we will proceed with the next question.